folks. Welcome to News as I Understand It. And what I'm going to start with today is Texas buses 75 migrants to Chicago and political battle. 75 immigrants bused from Texas by Governor Greg Abbott has arrived in Chicago. The later chapter of the bitter political battle over the immigration policy of President Joe Biden administration. And I don't blame him. The Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot's office confirmed that the group arrived Wednesday night and said the nation's third largest city welcomes them. Yeah, right. She's pissed about it, really. I heard what she said about it. Abbott is busing the immigrants from Texas as part of a strategy launch this year to share the influx of people from outside the United States with cities that have Democratic mayors. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey also has adopted this policy. You know, it's the Democrats that let these people cross the border. And I was reading a while back about they're actually selling children to use their parts, their organs, and this is all crime. President Biden should be convicted of a crime in the Senate, and everybody that had anything to do with it, opening the borders up. It makes me mad. It really does. But anyway, let me close that. Let me read something else. Here's something. Doomsday glacier hanging on by its fingernails, scientist says. The loss of a glacier the size of Florida in Antarctic could wreak havoc on the world, as scientists expected would rise global sea levels up to 10 feet. It's already melting at a fast rate. The scientist says its collapse may only rapidly increase in the coming years. The glacier is the widest on Earth at about 80 miles in width, but as the planet continues to warm, its ice, like much of the sea ice around the Earth's pole, is melting. The rapidly changing state of the glacier has alarmed scientists for years because of the spine-chilling global implications of having so much additional water added to the Earth's ocean. Sparkling is nickname of the Doomsday Glacier. Let me read something else. I don't want to read too much. Let's see what else we got here. Nothing has really changed in Moscow. The fighting is a world away. Moscow on a recent evening in Red Square, a corps of elite paratroopers dressed in camouflage perform a battle-like dance. So far, nothing too much important. 2,000 years ago, red supergiant Betelgeuse, what we call that, was a different color entirely. Let's see. They don't have no news on that. That's the title. That's the title. China's state-backed open source blockchain onboards HK conglomerates, HSBC, and Perrier Group. What's that about? Let's see. Not much. Sarah Palin looks toward November. November. I never retreat. I reload, she says. Sarah Palin vowed to stay the course as she looks ahead to November's midterm elections. Palin lost Democratic Mary Peltola on Wednesday in a special election for Alaska's at-large House seat following the death of a longtime Representative Republican Don Young. Earlier this fall, she and fellow Alaska Republican candidate Nick Begish will face off against. That's enough of that. I'm not too much into politics except getting Democrats and Biden out of office. Ain't much on the news. A lot of shooting around my area, around the St. Louis area, but that's about it. Killings. I was reading somebody had a stolen vehicle and crashed into a gun store. You know, Biden is going to try to take the guns off, try to make it harder for you to buy guns, but yet the criminals are breaking into these shops. They're stealing the guns. Guns are coming from the border, the Mexico border too, you know. Well, nothing much on the headline news here. Oh, see. What's this one is? No doomsday bunker. Not a single gun. If the U.S. really is heading for civil war, I'm stuffed. And I believe we are going to be heading toward a civil war, but not the North and the South to be Republican and the Democrats. So how long do you think you would survive if everything went to hell? Civil war erupted. Institution crumbled, and there was absolutely nowhere safe in the world left to run. Me, I'd give myself 1 week, maybe 2. I would like to think that I'm a tough survivor type, but the last time I went camping, I forgot to bring a sleeping bag and sober myself. No, I sobbed myself to sleep. So on balance, I would have to admit that I did have a brief period this year when in a fit of madness, I thought I'd take up urban farming and become as self-sufficient as is possible with a scrap of garden in Philadelphia. That seems to go well until I proudly sent my mom a photo of all the luscious berry bushes I had cultivated, and she informed me that they were poisonous weeds and I should get rid of them immediately. So yeah, I don't give myself great odds to survive in the apocalypse. This is written by somebody. I bring all this up because, well, I mean, look around you. Things are not great in the UK. The cost of living crisis has become so extreme that ITV's this morning offered viewers the chance to get their energy bills paid on its spin the wheel segment. When people have to complete the basic necessity on daytime TV show, it's generally not an indicator that your supposedly rich country is a healthy state. It's not an indicator that your supposedly rich country is not a state, which I can read better. Let's see what else it says there. But to be fair, very few places are. More than 80% of the countries are experiencing inflation of above 6%, leading to an unpredicted rise in civil unrest around the world. According to an analysis published last week by UK-based risk consulting firm out of 198 countries, Brisket, wherever that is, reported 101, including the UK, has now have a heightened risk of conflict and instability. We're talking about numerous powder kegs around the world simply waiting for that spark to be ignited. One of the companies an analysis told the Guardian, "We don't know where that spark will come from first." I think we do. A lot of sparks are certainly seem to be flying in the U.S. Not so long ago, people would have regarded you as a bit of a loon. If you had said you thought civil war was imminent in the U.S., I always did. Not anymore. I always knew that the Civil War was imminent in the U.S. And it says not anymore. More than 40% of Americans think civil war is at least somewhat likely in the next decade, according to a recent YouGov survey. Among strong Republicans, the people with all the guns, 54% said civil war was at least somewhat likely. Civil war is now casual discussion on cable TV shows and between ads of hemorrhoid creams and car insurance. These days, it feels like we are not just at the brink of a civil war, but that one has already begun. The host, popular MSNBC show, said during a Saturday segment titled Democracy in Danger, to go back their points. Anyway, I'm tired of reading this stuff. And that's it down here. While billionaires are buying bunkers, the rest of us seems to be buying ballistics. Firearm sales have rocketed since the pandemic. Americans bought almost 20 million guns last year, which is down from 2020 record-breaking 22.8 million sales, but still incredibly alarming. It's about anti-gun as you will get, but lately I found myself wondering if I should maybe learn how to shoot. After all, I really don't rate my chances of surviving civil unrest in gun-nut America, armed only with a broom, a butter knife, and a garden full of poison berries. Let's see. Well, that's all I got for you right now. There ain't much in the news headlines, though. But I did want to bring something to you. So, until next time, folks.